Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shareen. I'm an interior designer in New York City, coming to you from Harlem. This is it. This is the finale. This is part 4. The thing that you have been waiting for. The suspense is over and the wait is over. We're going to talk about the studio today. This studio space is a triangular shape that presented a few challenges. Challenge number 1, there's a baby grand in it. Challenge number 2, both windows are different sizes. So there's one window on that side of the room that gives you a good 5.5 feet of light and a beautiful arch on the top, which from outside looks amazing. And then there's another window that is this arch window that gives you about 2 feet worth of light by 2 feet or so. And so that was a little bit trickier to maneuver and figuring out how to make it work. These clients are musicians. If you have not seen part 1, 2, or 3, please go back and watch them. And I wanted something that felt musical in the space. I wanted something that felt rhythmic. And this bookcase was it. So I love the way that it plays over and over and over. And it was something that I had sketched out and sent over to Olivia Oak for them to build. So our friends over there were able to construct this 17-foot wide, 10.5-foot tall piece. And I also asked for some custom wardrobes in the center in order to contain the guitars. So my client has multiple guitars, and we did add a guitar stand in the back of the piano, but I wanted to include some additional guitars inside of that wardrobe. So we have what are, I think, the tallest doors I've ever seen, and then some additional guitar and score storage inside of it. The hardware is a nice oiled rub bronze. It's not actually black metal, even though I feel like it gives that same look as it bounces off of the piano. And then in the corner, we did a built-in nook, which my team built custom. I designed that to have 2 large drawers on the bottom for additional equipment. If you're playing different music and various instruments, then it always comes with all these other accessories, and I wanted to make sure that they had more than enough storage for everything that they were looking for. We did a custom cushion on top of that, and that fabric is to the trade, but it's a Kelly Wearstler fabric. And I think the fabric probably took longer than the bookcase to build. We waited months for that material, to the point where I almost flopped and was like, forget it, change, get a different material, I'm over this. But we ended up getting it in time, and I think that it is beautiful. It plays off of the rug. The rug also has this rhythmic feel. That particular one is a Ruggable rug. It is part of the Jonathan Adler collection. To me, it feels like piano keys. It feels like a game of backgammon. It feels like something artsy and creative and gives you some additional shapes to play with in a space that's already interestingly shaped. The other thing that my client wanted to include in the space, outside of a reading nook, storage for her books, a place to play pianos, storage for the guitars, is also an office. So her husband will be working from home in this space, and they wanted something that they could use as an office space. So behind the door, we were able to place a standing desk, and that desk has a new chair and a new desk that's mounted up to the wall. As you can tell, we really like a clean, kind of minimal, no cables kind of look. So the printer is tucked away and hidden inside of that cabinet that's above the computer there. And then on that desk, we have a small lamp in case you need some additional lighting, and then just a few additional books, but there's plenty of space for your computer and or laptop. One of the tips that we did with this desk is we Velcroed the surge protector to the side of it, and then that way whatever electronics you have on that tabletop can be plugged in over on the side, and you have less wires and cables running down to the wall on the bottom. So there's only one cable running down there, which is my preference, of course. In the corner, we have a nice little plant, and because of the height of the desk, it would have been dwarfed and hidden by the desk. So we were able to elevate that by putting it on a little pedestal and just giving it some additional height. That's another thing that I like to do with plants a lot. I like to kind of raise them up and give them a little bit of height when I can, and make sure that we can incorporate as much as possible of the breadth of the particular plant. Aside from that, you have your book storage. There are 48 different openings for the storage of books. They go this way and that way. So no matter which way you're looking at this, it's just a really, really beautiful piece to observe. I'm super duper proud of it and thrilled with how it came out. People ask me if it's secured to the floor. Yes. People ask me if it's mounted to the wall. Yes, for sure. We did caulk a little bit of it, but for the most part, we've kept it out. If you have questions about how it was constructed and brought over and built, we did the elevations and then sent over the section drawings to Olivia Oak, and her team constructed it. It's of 6 separate pieces, and then the wardrobe came in 4 different pieces. So they brought those in painted, ready to go, and then built the base and the back frame, and then attached those, clamped it together to get it nice and secure, and it was just flawless. We just had to do a little bit of caulking around the trim of the doors, and other than that, it's been beautiful. The wardrobes are soft close, and so were the drawers to the nook. The Ruggable rug, we did have to cut a little piece off of it, so I had my team do that to just shave off the corner because it's a 8x10 rug and there wasn't going to be enough space for it to be laid out completely. And some throw pillows in the nook. Those are just, Joanna Gaines from Target. Keep it easy, keep it simple. And a little throw in the corner. We have a sconce above the reading nook just in case you're there at night and that smaller window isn't enough light. You can turn that on, and a new lamp that goes over the piano, which I thought was really cute for you to read the sheet music. It flows with that same kind of triangular shape that the room is mimicking. The light fixture that I selected in there reminds me of ebony and ivory. I felt like it was a grand stand to sit over a baby grand piano, and it just has this round dynamic that the room would not have otherwise. Last but not least, we didn't do any floor mats or anything like that underneath the desk. But we did measure to make sure that there's just enough space for you to be able to pull that chair out comfortably and work. And we put a pretty creative doorstop in there as well. The doorstop is actually one that sits inside of the hinge. So as you open and close the door, it makes sure that you don't hit the desk behind it, as opposed to drilling into these floors, because these floors, like I said, are beautiful. All right. I think that's everything as it pertains to the studio. I told you about the rug, the piano, the light that's behind it, the sconce. There's a lamp on the desk which complements what's happening on the sconce on the other side of the room. You know how I feel about repeating things. And the art on the wall, it's familiar. You've probably seen that before. Ariel from Heartful Services did that piece, and I just love the scale of it over the piano. And then for choices of plants, we have just the open palm that's over there, and then we have the snake plant in this really fun pot. That pot was something that I gifted my client at the end of the project, and I think that's about it. If you have any other questions about this room or this space, comment down below and let me know. Otherwise, thank you for spending the time that it takes to go through this entire project with me. It was a joy for me to work on it. I didn't even touch on the few things that we did in the kitchen. We just changed some light fixtures and helped her with some storage stuff in here too, but it's been really, really phenomenal, and I love my clients, all of my clients, and I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to do the thing that I love to do, and I'm even more thankful for you for sitting down and watching it. So you could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me, and I appreciate that. I am thankful for you, and I will see you next time, Thursday after next, if I'm on schedule. We'll chat soon. Bye-bye.